Alrighty, happy Sunday everyone. I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan with a quick update of what's going on in the tropics. It's a little after 10 o'clock a.m. and we're still keeping our eyes on Fred and Grace. And now Fred has been upgraded back into a tropical storm as of the 10 o'clock update. Now Grace is still poorly organized. It's the center of the storm is south of Puerto Rico. But again, you can see Fred now slowly moving into eastern the Gulf of Mexico this morning. But as we take a look at the visible satellite, and hurricane hunters actually went into this system earlier this morning and they actually found a well-defined low-lying center or low-level center. So that's why it has been upgraded back into a tropical system. But as you can see here, you can really see the overshooting thunderstorm or the cloud tops here. Again, showing that the system is continuing to strengthen as it moves over extremely warm water. Temperatures out in the Gulf of Mexico is about 82, 83, even 84 degrees right now. So this system definitely has the fuel to continue to strengthen as it moves over the eastern Gulf. As we take a look at the satellite imagery in infrared mode, you can really see the reds and oranges showing the convection with this storm. And as of the latest update, as of 10 o'clock this morning, as I just mentioned, it is expected to move north-northwest, and right now it is moving north-northwest at 12 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, and they found wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So it is expected to strengthen a little bit more as it approaches the Panhandle or the Florida Panhandle, and we are actually looking at Monday evening. Now this system will be working against a few factors here. We also have dry air present and wind shear. So those two factors will keep it rather weak before it makes landfall. Now, as we take a look at the tropical models here, again, since the last update, it has slightly shifted a little bit more to the east. The good news is that we are not in the cone of concern here. So we are looking at little to no impacts for our area. So that is great news. But the models are pretty grouped together here, and we may see the center of the storm making landfall either between along the Alabama coast and the Florida Panhandle. And because of that, we have tropical storm watches and warnings in effect for the Florida Panhandle as of the last update there. And as we take a look at the sea surface temperatures, as I mentioned before, again, the warm water is there for this system to continue to somewhat intensify. Now, we're looking at that low-lying center of circulation here as it continues through the Gulf of Mexico, and the heaviest or the significant rainfall you will mainly find along southwest Florida, and we're already seeing some rain bands over southwest Florida producing heavy rain. But as we approach Monday night into early morning, many areas, again, along the Florida Panhandle and coastal Alabama may see between 3 to 5, even 6 inches of rainfall, again, as that system approaches the area. So as I mentioned before, a few factors working against Fred. Wind shear will be present. Those upper level winds will kind of keep it from strengthening into a high-end tropical storm. And also dry air is present. We have dry air over the Gulf of Mexico. And also to mention, with Tropical Storm Grace, as of the latest update, we'll be working against dry air as well. So again, a lot of factors working against these systems, but as of right now with Fred, not an immediate threat to our area, again, which is great news. So that's the latest update with Fred. Now, as we take a look at what's going on with still Tropical Storm Grace, it is extremely poorly organized. It moved over the Leeward Islands yesterday, so it was a very compact storm yesterday, but you can see the surrounding thunderstorms. It is poorly organized, the convection trying to wrap around the center, but right now we cannot find that low-lying center as it moves through the Caribbean. So as of the latest update, it's still moving pretty fast west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. And because it's moving so fast, the thunderstorms are actually having a hard time keeping up with this system. So that's why it's also so poorly organized. And then the winds, barely a tropical system. We have winds at 40 miles per hour and wind gusts of 50 miles per hour. So again, the center of the storm is expected to remain south of Puerto Rico, but tropical storm warnings are in effect for that country today because tropical storm conditions are expected through the day. But notice it is going to hold on to its tropical storm status through much of the day heading into early Monday morning. And it is expected to interact with, it looks like, Hispaniola, and of course that country or those countries there, Dominican Republic, Haiti, mountainous. So it is going to disrupt the circulation just a bit. And then as it gets right back over very warm water, re-strengthening into a tropical storm as it heads to Cuba. And time frame, we're looking at early Tuesday morning. So again, that's the latest forecast heading through the Caribbean through the first half of the week. Now, again, the cone of concern is still rather large as it heads into the Gulf of Mexico. Notice the time frame. We're looking at Thursday morning and also Friday morning. And looks like the extreme south, or it looks like along the south of Mississippi coastline rather, is somewhat in the cone of concern. But because there's no low-lying center with this system, the computer models are actually having a very difficult time trying to pinpoint exactly where this system is going to go. So notice early on, we're looking at a pretty good consensus, keeping it south of Puerto Rico. But then after that, the spread, it's pretty scattered here. We have one model keeping it east of Florida, a few models taking it through South Florida. Again, this is for the center of the storm. And then we have a few other models taking it right either into Texas or Central America. And after 2-3 days, the uncertainty is rather high as to exactly where this system is going to go. Of course, we're going to continue to watch it, but the consensus looks pretty good heading through the Caribbean or keeping it south of Puerto Rico through today and tomorrow. I do want to mention, as long as the center of the storm remains over warm water, it is going to hold on to its tropical storm strength. As soon as it interacts with land, again, Hispaniola, pretty mountainous, it's going to disrupt the circulation, but if it gets back over very warm water, it is going to re-strengthen right back into a tropical system as we head into your Tuesday morning and also Tuesday night. Again, it's still too early to tell exactly what it's going to do when it heads into the Gulf of Mexico. Uncertainty is still really high because the computer models are really struggling to pinpoint exactly where this system is going to go, even if it reaches the Gulf of Mexico. So I do want to go through a few models with you. We'll take a look at a few global models or forecast models. The first one here, the GFS. So here is Fred. Fred is expected to make landfall somewhere along the Alabama coast and the Florida Panhandle sometime on Monday. And we are looking at heavy rain associated with that storm and tropical storm force winds in portions of the Florida Panhandle and the Mississippi, the Alabama coastline rather. And here is Tropical Storm Grace. So it is expected to continue to move through the Caribbean, but notice as we head into your Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Tropical Storm Fred, now that it's over land, it will continue to dissipate again, that land interaction. So now all eyes will be on Tropical Storm Grace as we head into midweek around Wednesday and Thursday. But you could see that the global or the GFS is really struggling to really pinpoint exactly where this system is going to go. So the GFS takes it into the Gulf of Mexico, and then right after Thursday, Friday, kind of loses it. So that's why we always say after 2, even 3, 4 days, it's really hard to really pinpoint exactly where these storms are going to go. And as we take a look at the European model, as we head into your Monday afternoon, it takes Fred right through the panhandle of Florida, again producing heavy rain. You could see indicated by the greens, the darker greens and yellows. But here comes Tropical Storm Grace. It keeps it south of Puerto Rico and it takes it over portions of Cuba. But then, and notice the timestamp, we're looking at Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and then after Thursday, even Friday, it kind of loses that system again because we cannot find that low-lying center. So that's what those two models are basically showing right now. Of course, A lot can change, especially 2, 3, even 4 days out. We're going to continue to watch Fred and also especially Grace as the time gets closer. And I do want to remind you, we are approaching the peak period of hurricane season. So things will continue to get pretty active out in the tropics. So just make sure you have, a hurricane plan in place. And as we're already halfway through the month here. So as we get closer to the first and second week of September, that's when we'll really start seeing things really start to ramp up in the tropics. So that's the latest update with Tropical Storm Fred. Again, now it has redeveloped into a tropical storm, and we're still looking at Tropical Storm Grace. Right now, neither of those storms, not a direct threat to southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, but of course we'll continue to watch it. And you can always visit us online for the latest update. Thanks for joining.